Hey, what's up, everybody? It's RJ here, and welcome back to the Find Your Flow channel. This is where we go after your dream goals, talk about peak performance, and how you can spend more time in the state of flow. And in this video, we're going to be talking about how you can get back on track, and particularly with regards to COVID-19. So today we're going to be talking about how you can get back on track with your productivity and wellness during this time and as things start to return to some semblance of normal. But remember that you can always turn back to this information at any other time where you feel that you've fallen off track and that you need a little bit of a bump to get back to being productive and well and performing your best. So how do you return to productivity? It's been over 100 days now that we've been quarantined in Canada, and in some parts of the country, things haven't come back to fully being operational yet again, including with things like my business in Ontario. We aren't back to normal yet, but things are starting to trend in the right direction. And everybody's starting to think about, well, how am I going to get back into my fitness routine when the gyms open back up? How am I going to get back to being productive? Because honestly, for a lot of people, working from home is not the most productive place to work from. And so we've got to get back on track with everything. So first up, we need to respect and appreciate our need for a little bit of less pressure on ourselves right now, as things are still challenging and things have been challenging for the last several months. It's totally okay if you weren't feeling your most productive or performing at your best. And now it's time to start to think about how we can slowly turn up the dial and ramp things back up without overdoing it and burning ourselves out. So how do we return to performing at our best and productivity? Or if you're the type of person that recognizes that maybe you're not so productive and that you've got some work to do there, that's totally okay. And this is what we're going to do, is go through a few of the steps that you can take in order to recognize what you're trying to accomplish and then realize it and get through to those bigger goals, those dream goals, as I like to call them, with a few simple steps. So first up, I think it's very important that we reflect on what we've learned and experienced in the last several months. Things have been very different for us, and as we've gone through this effect of physical distancing and being disconnected from others in a physical sense, it's taken a toll on people, but it's also given you a chance to learn a lot about yourself. And maybe you currently don't think that's necessarily the case. Reflect on what you've learned over the past several months. And the best way to do this is to mark it in your calendar right now and make the first Sunday that you can a priority to spend at least an hour or two reflecting on what you've learned throughout the last several months. I do this on a weekly basis, and it's part of the routine and ritual of my Sunday morning that I've started to really enjoy, is being able to look back on things over the past week and over the past month. And I also do this on a quarterly basis. And what you'll find is you start to learn where you're performing at your best, and you'll also start to learn the things that you need to put a little more work and effort into, because as you're looking back, you're starting to see and learn from the experience. And we've got to remember that the power of reflection in terms of overcoming obstacles is very important. If we look back and are able to take something from each obstacle that we've overcome, we're going to be able to build that into our productivity, our performance, and our ability to overcome even greater obstacles in the future. So during your time reflecting, you can write about those negative things that you've experienced, because we've all been through hardships over the last several months, but also look at the things that were positive in terms of what you've learned or who you've been able to connect with or reconnect with, and try as hard as possible to practice some of that optimism, and it'll help to open your eyes to the new horizons and what you're trying to achieve next. So maybe you didn't achieve as much as you hoped to during this COVID-19 pandemic. Maybe you had some extra time on your hands and you felt like you wasted it. But I would encourage you not to think of it in that way, because we were all under a great deal of stress and pressure, and all of that emotional turmoil is very challenging for our bodies to handle. And so just taking care of yourself and prioritizing the recovery has led you this far for a good reason, because there's always an opportunity to go from here and pursue new things. And that's what we're going to look at, how you can start to do next. So instead of getting down on yourself about the last several months, during your reflection, I really want you to look more at what you can look forward to accomplishing over the next several months ongoing, as things start to maybe pick back up in your favor, or you start to feel a little bit more optimistic and better about everything. So during that time that you reflected, maybe you started to come up with some ideas on things that sparked your interest over the last several months that you really want to accomplish, or you've discovered that is a passion of yours. Or maybe you want to start a new exercise routine and you've really been trying hard to do it. Or maybe you want to start a new side hustle and you're trying to earn some extra income. Whatever it is that you've discovered in yourself that you're trying to accomplish that's been a challenge for the last several months, what we need to do now is remember that the hardship's not completely over with, and there's still a lot of stress around us. We've got to build momentum slowly over the next several months as things start to resume a little bit more and we're able to get back into the gym again, hopefully soon, and things like that. We're able to start making more progress towards our dream goals. We've got to build the momentum slowly, because what happens is if you just try to pile everything onto your plate all at once, we still do have that stress around us. So we've got to be careful and look more at the whole life picture and the balance there, and how we can make sure we still balance that ability to be healthy and be well with our drive to accomplish more. And so make sure that you're not throwing it all in at once. And what I really want to talk about now is the power and importance of recovery. We've got to respect our need for recovery, and that's going to be especially important if you're ready to take those next steps towards accomplishing more of your dream goals. Everything has to be rebuilt slowly. So you've got to respect that need to recover and pace yourself. And always remember that it's a long journey that you're on. And a dream goal may not be something that you can ever accomplish. I like to set the bar high to a point where it seems to be impossible, because you'll be able to surprise yourself about how much further you can progress along the way and what you can learn from doing that for yourself. But recovery is a critical component to peak performance. We don't become peak performers through grinding through every single day and week. Just like how we sleep in 90-minute intervals with our REM cycles, we also go through cycles like that throughout the day, in which our energy starts to wane after about 90 minutes. And so it's really important to schedule time into your day where you're taking breaks and you're giving yourself a chance to recharge and refocus on whatever it is you've got to accomplish next. The people that block their time into chunks of 60 to 90 minutes are actually far more productive and also better performers than those that just try to push through the entire day without a break. And so the more that you do that, you'll actually find that you're getting more done in less time and that you're performing at a higher level. And that's one way that you can keep the recovery in your daily schedule and continue to push forward over a much longer term, rather than just sprinting through for a few days or a few weeks or a month and then burning out and having to crash and then losing a lot of your momentum. By taking those breaks in more frequent and shorter periods of time, you're able to keep going and sustain your energy much longer. And everybody's a little bit different when it comes to recovery and what that looks like for them. So you don't have to necessarily do one style of recovery. If you think that meditation doesn't work for you, maybe it doesn't as far as a way to recharge your batteries. Maybe it's better for you to get outside several times a day, get under the natural sunlight, and get out into nature as a way to move around. I find that people that are more physical workers in their day job tend to do a little bit better with those more restful style of recovery techniques like meditation or like taking naps or things that are very calm like that. Whereas if you sit at a desk all day or you're working at a computer, it's sometimes better to get out and expend some physical energy, whether it's going for a walk or a run, a bike ride, or just getting out in nature. Things like that can help to rebalance your energy. And so try to do the opposite of what you spend most of your day doing. And I think that you'll find that you recharge a lot better in that way. And then not everybody gets to live their passion for their day job. So another important thing that you can do to keep your energy high and while you're seeking out those dream goals is to block out at least 2 to 3 deeper recovery sessions throughout your week and do whatever it is that you love to do the most or that does help you to recharge the most, whether it's a day at the spa or it is a longer hike or bike ride. Those types of things can really help to keep you on the path and moving forward. And then finally, the other important part of recovery is to remember to always get that 7 to 9 hours of sleep, whatever the sweet spot for you is. Most of us are right around that 8 hours of sleep that we need to get. And maybe for you, it also includes taking a nap each day. But whatever that number is for you, we all need to remember the importance of sleep for recovery and sustained performance at our best. We all go through adversity on this journey through life. But if you're going to be the hero of your own story, you've got to reflect on what you've been through, look forward to what your next quest looks like, and also remember the need to recover and recharge your energy along that journey. So I hope you liked this video. And if you did, there's going to be more videos here that you can also check out on dream goals and productivity. And if you'd like even more information on how you can perform your best in this new normal, there's a free webinar that I put together on the Flow Academy website, and I'll leave the link down in the description if you want to sign up and check that out. Thank you for watching, and until next time, dream on and find your flow.